Thanks to process of elimination and a few good humans, we know that the Direct will be on Thursday, September 14th. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Want to talk to you real quick about what all is going down and what that means for everything you've heard thus far about the September Nintendo Direct. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern rolled around this morning, and there was no post from Nintendo. Now let me know in the comments down below if you are excited for this Direct, because I'm seeing an overall malaise and I want to help amp things back up. What went down this morning was Nintendo did nothing, indicating that the Direct can't be tomorrow. They always give us a heads up, and therefore tomorrow morning will be the tweet and Thursday will be the Direct. You can choose not to believe it, but it's happening. And what's interesting here is that Pyoro, the bird leaker that everyone believes and who knew perfectly the last Nintendo Direct back in June, he liked a tweet saying the 13th. And it was kind of between him on the 13th and Nate Drake on the 14th. And it looks like Nate Drake was right. So the Nintendo Direct will be announced tomorrow and will air on Thursday at a TBD time. The issue here is probably that Nintendo wanted to avoid all other noise. Right, yesterday was 9/11, today is Apple's event, tomorrow is the Pokemon DLC release. Therefore, I guess Thursday is the only day that really works for them. I previously believed that they would match up the Direct with the Pokemon DLC release so they could say, hey, after this Direct, go play the Pokemon DLC. But it's looking like the Pokemon DLC is going to actually roll out tonight, depending on where you're located. In the US, it should be this evening, and then in Europe, it should be early in the morning, and all the other time zones will follow in suit. So Nintendo is opting to give everything its space, right? A very tragic day gets its space. Apple's event gets its space. The Pokemon DLC gets its space, and the Nintendo Direct gets its space on Thursday. And again, if you do not believe this is happening, if you think it could happen at a different time, we have too much going on here. Pyoro was wrong about the 13th, but Nate Drake was spot on about the 14th. And everyone still thought it would be this week, and hey, it ends up being this week. Some of us were off by a day, myself included, but Thursday works just fine. Now the issue after that is Pyoro wrong about the date, Pyoro wrong about his game leaks. If you haven't been following my videos over the last week or so, I've been covering Pyoro's leaks. His leaks started off very, very exciting, and then with clarity and with some follow-ups, became kind of boring. I'm actually not going to mention those leaks in this video in case you want to stay completely blind to what should be at this Direct on Thursday, but I will say that it looks like, based on his leaks, not a super thrilling presentation. Maybe more of a B/C tier Direct that is housed with lots of smaller titles and more niche games to pad out the Switch's current lineup. But given that Pyoro was wrong about the 13th, could he also be wrong about this stuff? The odds are very small. Just because Pyoro is wrong about the date, he's correct about the week. And maybe we're to interpret his like of the 13th as the week of the 13th or around the 13th. It gets a little bit dicey and maybe too granular for me, but his game leaks were so spot on last time that I feel like he would not risk his credibility by giving them again unless he was certain. Now, what is even more interesting is that Pyoro's final tweet was, "What will close the Direct?" That's the last we heard of from him. Pyoro was leaking things on a regular basis at regular intervals leading up to the Direct, and he hasn't been heard from in about 3 days. A lot of people are suspecting that Pyoro has finally been caught, or maybe just reintegrated back into the WarioWare franchise. Now, I don't know. Maybe Pyoro just didn't have any more leaks. If he wants to preserve some things, maybe he felt like he needed to hide out. But there is also a good chance that the Nintendo Ninjas got Pyoro, and we will not be getting any more leaks from him. This is good and bad. It is bad because he was a very reliable, accurate leaker who had shocking precision and almost had access to the Direct before the Direct even aired and was providing a direct glimpse into the Direct unlike anyone else. This is good because maybe now we won't have Directs spoiled. Previously, Nintendo has done a great job of keeping them locked down. We've heard oh, this could show up, oh, this might show up, but we had nothing of the specificity of Pyoro who is literally tweeting out about Elephant Mario before Mario Bros. Wonder was even announced. A shocking transformation for Mario and a very surprising reveal for Pyoro to be able to get spot on. Now, I like leaks as much as you do. Well, maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know how much you like them. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I cover them because it's part of Nintendo. And I know some people get frustrated about covering leaks too often or not often enough or at all or in the title or whatever the issue may be. But at the end of the day, I'm a full-blown, unapologetic Nintendo channel. That's what SwitchForce is. It is a Nintendo channel. My life on SwitchForce revolves around Nintendo and whatever is happening with Nintendo. And I feel like it would be silly and unrealistic for me to not cover everything going on in the world of Nintendo, especially when Nintendo is one platform. And at least this generation, they don't get all the multi-platform games. Like, yes, we're getting Mortal Kombat 1, and I'm grateful for that. But other than that, we're waiting in between Nintendo first-party releases. And I find the leaks to be very interesting. It's covering the entire gamut of Nintendo fandom. That's what SwitchForce is about. It's the hub and home for everything Nintendo. That means the game releases, that means the directs, that means the bad stuff, that means the good stuff, that means being critical, that means being hyped. It's the entire life, the entire roller coaster of being a Nintendo fan, and leaks are a part of that. And look, when I cover the leaks, if you watch the videos and if you listen to what I say, I cover them, or at least I try my best to cover them with integrity and with detail, meaning I acknowledge when I think they're right or wrong. I acknowledge when I've been right or wrong. I look at the facts. I really do research. I investigate. I try to vet the credibility of all the leaks, and I'm covering them not just from a, oh my God, the sky is falling. Like, I try to give you the sort of response that helps set up your expectations and that helps give context and that helps give validity or not validity to these different leaks. So I try to do it the best I can. It's not just for hype's sake. It is for getting a full picture, a 100% overview of what's going on as a Nintendo fan, and leaks are often a big part of it. But I'm not just trumpeting every leak I hear. I pick and choose, and if it's something that's gaining a lot of popularity, even if I don't believe in it, I may cover it just so you know, hey, this is probably something you should avoid getting excited for. To me, that's just as important to know what's not true as to know what to get excited for. I think both sides have their merits, and I'll continue covering both of them. I'll also cover the Nintendo Direct on Thursday morning, and I'm going to set up a live stream as soon as I know the time. I'm expecting the Direct to be around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 7 a.m. Pacific on Thursday, but there's also a chance, I suppose, that they go with later in the day. It does seem, though, given the timing, given the lineup, and given Nate Drake's 14th and a few other sources that have indicated the 14th, we will be getting a Direct that takes place for at least the US and Europe on the 14th, meaning we're probably looking at a 10 a.m. start time. They typically do morning or evening. They don't really go with like noon. So I'm expecting a 10 a.m. start time, but we'll see how early I have to get up. We'll see if it interferes with evening plans. They probably don't want to mess with Thursday Night Football. It's only the second of the year, and the last one's fantastic because the Lions won again. Poor Aaron Rodgers. I do not like that guy as a big Detroit Lions fan and anti-Green Bay fan, but I feel sorry that, like, his last game in Green Bay was an interception to the Lions, and his first game in the MetLife, the Jets, is tearing his Achilles and out for the year. A little bit of football talk for you, and to know that, like, man, this injury sucks, and I even have empathy for Aaron Rodgers, which is odd because, man, that's been my arch nemesis for the greater part of 20 years. Anyways, y'all are my best friends. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'll see you for more videos and predictions. But yeah, the Direct is going to be Thursday. You can wait for Nintendo's official confirmation if you want, but consider this locked in. Thursday, September 14th, 9.14.23 is the Nintendo Direct for the rest of the year. That's going to be the closer Direct for this year, barring some strange game-specific Direct for Mario RPG, which I don't really predict or see. So this will be the last Direct for the year. Hopefully it's a good one. Pyoro's leaks, probably true, but I do think there's room for surprises as well. And frankly, I'm excited to party with you guys and enjoy a wonderful moment of Nintendo goodness that really only we get to have. Nobody else has as cool of shows as Nintendo. Nobody else has as many leaks as Nintendo. Nobody else has as many people that care about the shows and the leaks and the games and the evaluation and the reviews and the reactions and the hype and the hope and the sadness and the letdowns as Nintendo. So I'm glad to be here. Thanks so much for letting me be here and being a part of it. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.